Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with a very special guest, the man, the myth, the legend who began the XFO all those years ago. You've heard of many fighters coming from the XFO, Clay Guida, Pat Curran, the list goes on and on and on. And the XFO just made an epic comeback at Sideouts in Island Lake. It's the biggest party of the summer, and the great and powerful Dan Lardy is here to talk about it. Dan, thank you for taking some time.
Thanks for having me, Mike. Appreciate it.
Of course. For those of you that don't know, the first live MMA event I ever went to was XFO Outdoor War. It was back when I think it was outside of the Lakemore banquet facility, if I remember correctly, Dan.
Yeah.
And I was 12 or 13 years old, and it was the first show I had ever been to, and it was awesome. I was there with my team at the time. It was Ohana Martial Arts. They ended up becoming Wrecking Ball, and we had some people fighting, and it was a complete rush, and it changed my life for sure. And I heard you talking with KJ, and you guys were talking about, some kids who were watching those shows ended up being fighters. Well, not only did I end up being a fighter, but I ended up getting into MMA media, and that was because of you too, Dan. If you remember, I said, hey, I just want to, be an intern, kind of just sit there and type play-by-play, maybe get a couple interviews backstage. And Dan Lardy is the one who said, okay. And that changed my life, Dan, because I ended up being the color commentator for you. Here I am all these years later, still talking about this shit. So just, I want to start off by saying thank you.
Hey, no problem, man. I'm just glad I could be there for you.
You opened the door, and you've done that for so many different people. I mean, at the high end, you've had like Chael Sonnen versus Terry Martin, but at the low end, I mean, you've just impacted so many different careers, so many different people with the XFO. It's something very, very special. Like when I came back, I saw Matt Locascio, I saw Brandon, I saw Mike, I saw Chuck Pilcher. I mean, all these people who I haven't seen in 6 years. It felt something like, I don't know, like a flashback or another lifetime. How did it feel for you?
It felt, it was like that. I had a few people come to me and say the same thing. On Netflix, the newest movie out right now is Happy Gilmore 2 right now. And a couple of people are like, it felt like Happy Gilmore 2, where we're just like, all these people, like, you haven't seen them so long, and then they're back, And I mean, that's how it was with me, because it's like crazy. It's like a lot of these fighters were so new. I didn't know a lot of these fighters. Like a lot of them were the gyms now are coaches of these gyms and owners of these gyms that actually used to fight for me. So it's like, it's evolved. It's crazy. I mean, it was, so a lot of the fights, I honestly, I said that in a couple other interviews. I'm like, I don't know what I'm getting with the fights. I don't know a lot of the fighters. I've been out of the fight game for a little while. I just had to take a chance and I'm like, well, this gym's good. This gym's good. He's got a guy at this weight. He's got a guy at this weight. Let's see, records look decent. Let's put them together. And we wound up with one hell of a card. I mean, it was a good card. I couldn't be more pleased with it. Even the main event. I mean, if you're the type of person that judges a book by its cover, I mean, you look at the main event, it's like that Austin Clow, like he's a pretty built guy, and Martinez came in and I mean, he brought it. Like he had heart. He stuck in it. Like, I mean, I'll tell you what, man, a couple of those slams I would have been done. I mean, those look painful, but to get 5 rounds out of that was just amazing. I mean, I would never bet that would have happened. And I'm not much of a gambling guy, but even the co-main event, that Ian Mullen, standout wrestler for, been trying to get a fight for years. He's had so many fights back out. Like, I think we had 4 opponents back out before we finally wound up with the one locked in for him, for just that one guy. And it just fits part of the game. But yeah, I mean, I was really happy with the fighters, the support, the just the all around love from everybody, man. Just the fans, everything. I mean, I told myself, when my partner Brian Norris, he talked me into basically doing it again. He put the spark under me. He's like, I was just going to help him out, just do stuff. And he talked me into it. I'm like, listen, I'll do it, but it's got to be fun. Like, if it's not fun, I'm not going to do it, because I don't need the money. I don't need to do it for that. I got a job. I do roofing, by the way. Anybody needs a roof, I got you.
In Texas, yeah.
But yeah, so it was fun. I had a blast. I had fun. It was like old times. It was a good time. And we told ourselves getting into it, like, we'll just do one show and that annual show a year and see how it goes from there. Well, it went so good that October we're looking to do something down here in Texas, and we're already looking to go back in Illinois in November. So it's a no-brainer. I mean we got this mojo flowing a little bit. It's like, let's just keep it going. So
let's go. That's exactly what I wanted to hear, Dan. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
I'm going to hold some details on it. We do have a venue that's a little closer to Chicago. So it'll be closer to the city. I think we'll see more title fights on there because we want to bring some more titles back. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
Oh my God, I'm so pumped. Are you kidding me? Let's go. Because that's what everybody was asking me.
Yeah.
After the event, even during the event. Do you know if he's is it back? Like, what are we talking about? Dan Lardy.
Yeah.
The XFO's back.
We're back. We're back, man. We're going full steam. We got so many things, and there's a lot of things that, you and I got to talk about too, Mike, because we got some stuff that, want to get you more involved in some things too and stuff. So we'll be talking about more of that. But yeah, it just makes sense. I mean, it was a part of me that was missing. I didn't know it was missing, and it just felt like, it's there, it's there, it's back. So just glad to be back, glad to be just doing what we do, just put on some shows, do the best we can for the fans and the fighters. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about the fans and the fighters, and that's what we want to do. So,
man, I'm so pumped to hear that, Dan. Yeah, something's been missing in the Midwest MMA scene too. And hearing you say Texas, that's freaking awesome that it's going to be traveling. I mean, the $7.7 billion deal the UFC did shows you where MMA's at. I mean, in those 6 years of absence, Dan, I think the sport has grown fairly significantly, and now it's going to be essentially on free TV at the highest level. They always keep the paywall there on the pay-per-views for the UFC. I think the sport is going to start rivaling the major sports that we see here in the US. Honestly, it already is. You see how loud Chicago is when Khamzat Chimaev came out for that press conference. I think the XFO can absolutely be a player in professional MMA as well. So you stop me. I'm going to start asking questions and you tell me when to stop. Okay. All right. Next event, Texas.
Yes.
Amateur or pro?
Amateur right now. Just it's the first event in Texas. I don't want to go too crazy with it. We're just being smart about everything with the we just want to be smart. It's our first event in Texas. We want to get our feet wet with everything and just kind of figure it out. So it might even just honestly, Mike, it might even just be a submission only show in Texas starting off with. Because if you heard some of the other interviews, the XFO is Extreme Fighting Organization, and we were kind of building XFO MMA back in the day, but it's not just MMA anymore. It's going to be submission only. It's going to be kickboxing. It's going to be boxing. It's going to be Muay Thai. We're going to, anything that's combat sports, we're going to do it. I heard there's professional pillow fighting. I used to be a pretty damn good pillow fighter back in the day. So,
don't tell me it's professional pillow fighting. Don't tell me that.
We're not going to do that. But
all right, cool.
I would do the slapping before that probably, but we're not going to do that. But yeah, I mean, anything combat sports. I mean, are they all going to be in a hybrid show? Not necessarily. I mean, some are. The MMA, the kickboxing. I mean, honestly, the Outdoor War show, the way it went and it progressed, we started with the submission only, went to the kickbox, went to the MMA, went pretty good. I mean, we got some good feedback on it. I mean, there's fans for every situation there. I mean, I sold just as many VIP tables for the kickboxing as I did the MMA as I did for the grappling. So it's like the fans were split. They were there. So it was good, right? So but we definitely got some. We had so many plans. Like there's so much. My partner got back in town early this morning actually, and we met today still and went over some stuff, and we just got so many goals and everything. It's pretty endless what we got going on. I mean, we just got some big plans, and we want to turn this into something that it always should have been. It always should have been. So that's where we're heading with it. There's where we wind up. If we wind up in it's foolish for anybody to say that they're gonna beat the UFC. No one's ever gonna do that. But
I think that's right.
Can we come in second? Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
There's certainly opportunity.
Yeah, we're just going to continue plugging away. We're going to do some things, and I just, we're going to stay the course and just put on some great fights, great events, make the fans happy, please the fighters in the process, treat them right, and I think everything else is going to happen on its own.
I mean, you said the first event's going to potentially be submission only. Look at those grappling matches you got to referee, by the way. That was awesome. Dan wearing multiple hats as usual.
Yeah.
All of them were finishes. Every single grappling match at XFO Outdoor War ended in a submission. That's fun for the fans. And it is like a great preliminary card to then get into kickboxing and MMA. I thought the way you did it was brilliant, and I do think that that model could work in the future. Now, after Texas, you mentioned Illinois. I know you have a lot more experience in the state of Illinois. Is that card a amateur card?
That is going to be an amateur card too, but it is going to be quite a few more title fights. So it's I mean, I'll just throw it out there. It's going to be a night of champions. It's going to be a night of champions. I mean, that's what's going to probably be called, and it's going to be, is it every title fight on the line? Let's see what I can match up and what we can get going. So,
that would be cool.
If that's the case, that's a great card.
You know what I'm saying? How cool is that?
Yeah.
Every single belt on the line, the XFO's back. You're going to have Austin Clow in there to defend that title. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great, I mean, it's a no-brainer. We got to do it.
Wow. Woo! I'm excited about that because the XFO has always had these epic amateur cards. I mean, I had my first amateur MMA fight in the XFO at the Lakemore facility?
Lakemore Banquet. Yep.
And it was the fight after Jeff Curran. So Jeff Curran competed, and I was the very next fight. You saved some prelims for the end there. So, you've just always seemed to mix them up very well, and you've always had high-level amateur fights. And these are the guys who, you end up seeing at a high level. You guys, we used to have Charlie Radke competing inside the XFO. Charlie Radke's a bona fide UFC fighter now. He's got knockouts in the UFC. Yep. Against Gilbert Urbina. I mean, he's got some really, really solid performances, and people, know him around the world now. He was an amateur in the XFO. It's a really strong way for people to start their career. And so when it's the truth, when I can say that like a fact, you're going to get really good talent. And so for you guys who haven't been to an XFO event yet, you have to come out and see it for yourself. You're going to see people and go, they're amateurs. That's the type of level that Dan Lardy is able to bring in with these awesome gyms. And I'll tell you what, Texas is a very high level spot for MMA. First of all, you're talking about submission grappling. Dan, in Texas, you've got John Danaher, Team New Wave. You got the B team, Craig Jones. You have the best jiu-jitsu teams, not second or third best, the best jiu-jitsu teams in the world. I'm sure you're going to fish for some talent there.
Oh, there's so much. I mean, I live just north of Houston here right now, and even just in this area, like if I Google jujitsu within like a 50-mile radius of my house, there's 100 gyms that pop up.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and then you have Austin, which is probably even more. And then you have Dallas, Fort Worth area, and then San Antonio. Like Texas is a big state. It's a big state, and there's not a lot going on here either. So there's a lot of opportunity here for sure. And we're not just stopping there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's we have our eyes on some other states. I mean, we have, we're like I said, we're looking to do everything. I mean, we're going at a slow pace. We're no, I mean, we're already jumping from where we plan on going. We're just going to do one show in Illinois, and we're already, 3 months after the Outdoor War, we're going to jump into another show. So, when things are good, you just got to keep it going. It's like, if we don't do that other show in Illinois like we're planning now, it's like we're just passing the torch to somebody else to go do something, and
Yeah.
we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm on board to support all the other shows in the area and stuff. I mean, but yeah, I mean, we just got to do our own thing, because we can't look out for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, the XFO has the name recognition. People know it. I say the XFO in California, people know what I'm talking about. So yeah, the XFO definitely has that respect that other MMA organizations want to have. So tell me where I go wrong. We're starting with these the highest level amateur show you could put on, a night of champions in Illinois, submission only grappling, potentially more fights in Texas, but your North Star that you're marching towards is a professional MMA organization that can be up there with the big names, that can put on big professional level shows. Is that what I'm hearing you saying?
Yeah. You'll start seeing in 2026 the pro shows start coming. So for sure, and it's just yeah, and ultimately it's like a lot of these local promotions they put on shows and they're like, all right, what can you do for us? If I put you on the card, what can you do for me? That's what the typical show does, the local talent. I honestly, if you ask any fighter out there, I didn't put one fighter on this card, and I didn't ask anybody to sell tickets. I didn't ask anybody to sell tickets. I didn't have hard copy tickets. We did everything electronically, everything online. I never once asked anybody to sell tickets. And honestly, that's what a promotion should do. Like I want to build up the promotion where it's like people are coming to see the show. I put on whatever fights. It doesn't matter if they sell, if they sell tickets, great. It's a bonus. Their fans are coming, their friends, family, all that's a bonus. But I want the XFO itself to have the fans and have the fan base. Yeah. And that's what we're kind of shooting for. As you mentioned before, the Outdoor War, that's always been a great show. It's always been a big party, the end of the summer, all this stuff right before they go back to school, all that. I mean, there's people that go to that show. That's the only show they go to. They don't even go to any other show, so they're not like following the local scene. They're not following other fighters, other show. They just go to that show. That's kind of what we're kind of going for. And honestly, I want to do that too with the, when we get to the pros, like I want to be able to bring people in and put on the fight that I want. I don't want to have to, let's put on this guy. Cause I mean, yeah, you're going to have that too, because if we're fighting locally in that area, people want to fight, locally in front of their fans and stuff. But if I'm able to bring, let's say we're in Chicago and I bring somebody in from New York or something, maybe to fight that guy from Chicago, and maybe I go to Florida and I bring a guy from California to fight, maybe there's different states going on that we might go to, maybe
awesome.
Maybe we're going to go to Tennessee, maybe we're going to Colorado, maybe we're going to New Mexico, I mean, these are all maybes, maybe we got, the maybes and the possibilities are pretty endless. So I'm at a point in my life where I just vision things. I manifest a lot, so I manifest and I picture things happening. So if I manifest enough and I picture what's going to happen, it's going to happen. Like give you an idea. What happened right before the show at the Outdoor War? It rained a little bit, right? We had a little bit of a downpour.
Yep.
That's my fault. I manifested. I was sitting there setting up during the day. I was hot. I'm like, man, I wish a little breeze would come in and maybe it's a little bit of rain. It's so hot right now. And then it waited 5 or 6 hours and then it came. It's like, I wasn't expecting that, but yeah. The point being is there's a big vision. It's constantly, even the vision itself is evolving the more we brainstorm about things, the more things come up and stuff. There's just so many possibilities. And it's like it's kind of scary at some point. Like it's like that's why we got ease into it, because it's like if I go too fast, like I get I might not be able to keep up. You
got to build a team.
But I think the good thing is with this idea where we're not just in Chicago base. So we can go to different areas, which means I can draw different fighters and different people from different areas, which is going to help us. And the more areas we go to, the more we build up our network and our database of fighters and stuff, the more we have to choose from too. So it's it's kind of where we want to be with things. I just want, we just want to be the little show with big fights, like we always have been, so and if that evolves into the big show with big fights, then that is what it is, so
I love it, Dan. I mean, so many have tried, the graveyard of MMA promotions has many tombstones, but the XFO has always found a way to stand out. You've always found a way to steer through rain or shine. Fighters pulling out. You just said, co-main event switched 4 times. Dan's going to make it happen regardless. And your will to continue does stand out. And it's provided a platform for so many people to have careers. I mean, I could speak for myself. Starting at the XFO, I was able to work for Bellator. I was able to work for bare knuckle fighting championships. And to hear that you want to go around the country now, that you've got your sights set high, what great news, man. Thank you for breaking it here with me today. I appreciate that, because I'm going to blast this all over social media right now. The XFO is back.
Yep. Absolutely.
Any parting words for the fans who've missed it? Like I said, when I was at the show, multiple people, even fighters. What fighter just messaged me this week? Hey, Juan Avila. If you remember Juan Avila, you had him throw down with Motaz Oscar at the University of Illinois, Chicago in a wicked fight. Motaz Oscar, a professional now. He got his start in the XFO. That was his debut. Juan Avila, hands of stone. He goes, do you know if they're doing another fight? Because I want to make my pro debut and I want to do it with the XFO. You got so many people who are curious with what's going on. Do you have a message for them?
It's coming. Be patient. 2026, we'll get you on there, Juan. We almost had him on this show too, but he wasn't able to make it happen. So
very excited for the future, Dan. I'm going to try to get off this live recording and see if I can pry some more information out of the great and powerful Dan Lardy. I do appreciate you taking the time. It was so fun to get back on the microphone with Matt Locasio. And if you'll have us back, I'm looking forward to doing some more damage.
Every time. Let's do it.
Let's go, guys. You can follow XFO World on Instagram. So let's start building up that social media, guys. Go do it right now. Instagram at XFO World. I'm here with the founder of the XFO. He started it many moons ago with Jeff Curran and Monty Cox, I do believe.
Yep.
And Dan Lardy's the last man survivor, right? Because Monty Cox went and did his thing. Jeff Curran ended up running his gym, Team Curran, and Dan went all in on running the XFO, and he's done it so well. Can't be more excited for you to be back and for the XFO to be back. Thank you for the time, Dan.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.